giving that will make you to deny the faith, that will make you to be worse than an infidel, that once you give that money, once you give that person, or maybe you lend someone money and eventually that money is going to hurt you financially, it is not worth it. 5 wise virgins recognize this, that once we give you out of our oil, then we are going to be hurting ourselves. We will not be able to meet the bridegroom. So it was wisdom that they applied. It was self-care. It was that they prioritized themselves. You are welcome to our Financial Wisdom from the Bible series. And in today's episode, we'll be looking at the lessons that we can glean from the 10 virgins in Matthew chapter 25, verse 1 to 13. The Bible made us to understand that 5 were foolish, 5 were wise. And if we look at it from the surface, we could easily deduce that this is the reason why 5 were foolish and why 5 were wise. 5 carried extra oil, while the remaining 5 did not carry extra oil. But that is not what we are going to today. Financial wisdom we can learn even from that process, from what happened to the 10 virgins. Now, the first question we need to ask ourselves is, what would have happened if the 5 wise virgins who carried extra oil, if they are giving out their oil to the 5 foolish virgins? The Bible made us to understand that they asked them, the 5 foolish virgins who did not carry extra oil, asked them, can you please give us extra oil? And they said, so that it will not be insufficient for both of us, go and buy. Go and buy. What would have happened to them? If they are giving them that oil, maybe all of them would have been foolish, because at the end, none of them would have been able to meet the groom. So what the 5 wise virgins, what happened to them was, they had an attitude called self-care. Self-care. They did not give emotionally. The Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself, not more than yourself. If they had given them that oil, what would have happened to them? All of them would have missed out. Because today you see many people giving, and eventually they are not planning for their future, they are not planning for their tomorrow, they are not seeing any reason why they should invest. Everything they are having, when they have taken care of themselves, the next thing is that they are giving it out to others. They are not planning for tomorrow. But the 5 wise virgins knew that, so that this thing will be sufficient for us. It is not selfishness, and that's why we need to know the difference between the two. We should be able to differentiate between self-care and selfishness. What is self-care? Self-care simply means the care given to oneself in order to maintain your physical, financial, spiritual, and psychological well-being. The care you give to yourself, especially to maintain your physical, spiritual, financial, and psychological well-being. Some people are giving and eventually they regretted it later. So it is self-care. And that leads us to the second lesson to learn from the 10 virgins. Prioritize yourself. Prioritize your future. It is not enough to say you are a giver, you are this. As much as it is good to give, the Bible encourages us to give. But the moment you are going to be hurting yourself by giving, I'm not talking about the aspect of being stingy. There's a difference between stinginess and frugality. That's why I said there's a difference between self-care and selfishness. Love your neighbor as yourself. You are the model in this matter. You are the model. So don't prioritize others' needs more than your own needs. For instance, a friend of yours needs maybe money to fix his car. Meanwhile, that money is meant for you to pay your children's school fees. Once you lend that money to your friend, then your children will not be able to go to school. And don't forget, what does 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8 says? It says that anyone who cannot provide for his household is worse than an infidel. And he has denied the faith. An infidel means an unbeliever, which means a believer who cannot provide. So in the name of giving, you could not provide for your own immediate family. Then you have denied the faith. So which means any giving that will make you to deny the faith, that will make you to be worse than an infidel is not worth it. You call it emotional giving, whatsoever giving, because I've heard of men of God say some people will give in church and maybe the following day or maybe during the week they will come back that they are sorry that what they gave yesterday, it was out of emotions. Process it logically. You give spiritually if you are being led. As many that are being led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. We give as we are led. That's number one. You give logically. You calculate it. And that's where budgeting comes in. You don't spend the money you don't have. You don't spend the money you have not received. And that's why many people are getting it wrong. And eventually they have to resort to borrowing, because when you did not calculate what is even meant for you, what you have, then you would have done for that Christmas, forgetting that there is a need at home. So prioritize yourself. Prioritize your family. Every other thing is secondary. So any giving that will make you to deny the faith, that will make you to be worse than an infidel, that once you give that money, once you give that person, or maybe you lend someone money, and eventually that money is going to hurt you financially, it is not worth it. Anyone who cannot provide for his own home, for his own household, is worse than an infidel. That's what the Bible says. So the 5 wise virgins recognize this, that once we give you out of our oil, then we are going to be hurting ourselves. We will not be able to meet the bridegroom. So it was wisdom that they applied. It was self-care. It was that they prioritized themselves. Number 1, self-care. Number 2, prioritize yourself. Number 3, the Bible says at midnight, there was an announcement that the bridegroom is coming, which means prepare for the unexpected. Prepare for the unexpected. The unexpected will happen. So don't say because you have 500,000 naira now and the next thing is for you just because you have met your basic needs, the next thing you just plug the rest. That's where investment comes in. That's where savings comes in. Expect the unexpected. They carried extra oil. They anticipated it and they prepared for it. The unexpected happens. Car suddenly breaks down. One sort of sickness suddenly comes up. Your body is not a wood. You are not a machine. Even machine breaks down. I understand we are people of faith, but faith is not foolishness. So you prepare for the unexpected, because many people do things just emotionally, believing that they are using faith. Meanwhile, in actual fact, they are only hurting themselves. So they prepared for the unexpected. So the money that you are putting in savings, you are putting in investments. Be like the 5 wise virgins. If they are giving out their oil, all of them would have become 10 foolish virgins. And would have been talking about 5 wise virgins today. But because they prepared for the unexpected. The money that you are putting into investment, don't go and splurge it on something. Don't go and say because of emotional needs of someone. People collect the same range of salary. Somebody splurges his own, is now coming back to you just because of his own financial recklessness. And is now affecting your own life. Is affecting your own finances because of his own financial recklessness. That should not be. That's why Galatians chapter 6 verse 5 says, each one shall bear his own burden. Let the person bear the burden of his own financial recklessness, not you, not your family member. You should not. This is the financial wisdom that I have for us from the life of the 10 virgins today. So permit me to quickly recap. The 5 wise virgins, they had an attitude called self-care. Love your neighbor as yourself, not more than yourself. Number 2, they prioritize their own needs. Any giving that will make you to deny the faith, that will make you to be worse than an infidel, is not worth it. Number 3, prepare for the unexpected. How do you prepare for the unexpected? Have savings, invest. It is important. I recommend you watch this video, the lessons from the 4 lepers. It's also financial wisdom from the Bible. So we meet in our next video. Stay blessed.